much shock can you take? It will haunt you forever. From the depths of evil comes a diabolic killer of beautiful women. The vampire's coffin. See a vampire's body stolen from its tomb. A psycho killer removes the stake so the vampire can again prey on beautiful women. It's in the vampire's coffin. And to complete a double night of horror, a monster's nightmare of terror, turn loose in a fight to the death. The robot versus the Aztec mummy. They will bring you a night of terror. We dare you to see them, but don't come alone. The vampire's coffin. In an all-new double horrorama show with the robot versus the Aztec mummy. Presented in Hypnoscope.
Monster of the deep, with a blood-chilling pattern for murder. A flood of action, terror, and suspense that spell the Embalmer. She-Beast, deadlier than Dracula, wilder than the werewolf, more frightening than Frankenstein.
A young girl is murdered at a famous English boarding school near London. The newspapers call the mad killer the sinister monk.
Help! Help! The monk was here! I'm scared. I'm so scared. Help!
Who is he? Who is the sinister monk?
Help! What was that?
Whoever gets in the way of the sinister monk is a dead man. Scotland Yard uses every means at its disposal to capture the ruthless murderer. Who is his next victim? Don't miss the sinister monk.
The terror of the unknown reaches out from forgotten centuries, and a horror legend 2,000 years old comes alive as a hideous demon rises from the grave to bring a new high in horror to the motion picture screen. The Vampire and the Ballerina. No one is safe from this monster of the night, this creature from the crypt of the living dead, who stalks the countryside in search of victims for his insatiable bloodlust. The Vampire and the Ballerina. Into the evil domain of the Vampire King comes a company of beautiful dancers. And the most desirable of them all is the ballerina. Helpless in the grip of his satanic power that brings everlasting enslavement to her soul. The scream has never reached such heights of fright, such soul-shivering suspense, such heart-stopping horror. You will remember for always the startling, haunting motion picture, The Vampire and the Ballerina.
Can a dream change a man's whole life? Linda Christian is almost too desirable to be real. And Robert Alda, too fascinated to resist her.
You really are a witch.
You must become one of us first.
Anything.
You must take the oath to Gamba.
O great Gamba, highest executioner, supreme devil, god of evil, make your decision.
Death is a plaything when you are caught in the devil's hand. And the devil's plaything is devastating.
You'll never escape me, darling.
Is he really her willing victim? Or a person possessed?
Spin the wheel. That knife is set to kill.
See anything.
The statistics say that every year London has 40 nights of fog.
And who will they murder tonight, I wonder?
Every morning, the police discover a new victim.
Who's the dead man?
The crime wave continues, and Scotland Yard combs the harbor in search of the madman. Where is he? Who is he?
A gang calls itself that because they pull their crimes in the middle of the night.
Watch it, it's hot. Very hot.
Fear reigns. Danger lurks everywhere. And the police are powerless. Terror grips another victim. And another. And still another.
Within the violent waters that cover this earth comes a mighty motion picture destined to be remembered above all others. Starring John Carradine as the scientist who was deceived by his own fantastic experiments.
Craig, what happened?
I think something's buckling.
Hey! Hey! Can you hear me?
This story of a group of scientists who penetrate the depths of a mysterious ocean brings you underwater thrills and breathtaking excitement as they travel mile after eerie mile through the black waters to ultimately discover the incredible petrified world. See women struggle for survival as they become lost in a world of incredible danger. Caverns explode violently as underground volcanoes unleash their tremendous fury. Suspense, chills, terror, excitement beyond compare. Never, never has a motion picture captured the amazing story, the gigantic spectacle, the staggering force of the incredible petrified world.
Whitlock, born 1595, condemned 1630, and buried alive as a witch.
get that?
This? We found it pinned to a window curtain in Forrester's office.
It's a witch's charm. A devil doll.
Lon Chaney stars as Morgan Whitlock, inheritor of the secrets of the mystic cult.
Vanessa will be angry.
Vanessa?
Yes. She is coming to us. You will see her tonight yourself. At the Sabbath.
On the night of the witch's Sabbath, the Coven of 13 gathers for the Black Mass of Death.
Amy! Oh, no!
Wherever the unwary sleep, beware the terror of the witch's curse. Wherever the infirm struggle for life, beware the doom of the living dead.
See the creature that undrapes the passions of the living.
As science probes ceaselessly toward new frontiers, man's abilities approach the incredible. Today, human beings can be frozen alive. What unknown dangers await man as he probes for the truth of deep freezing? Will it mean suspended animation or death?
No. It's too much of a risk.
Too much of a risk? There is no risk. We've been saying there's no risk.
I know, but it's different when you're faced with it. I mean, we could be wrong. Will the human heart stand it? And what about brain damage from oxygen starvation?
-1 standard pressure.
-1 standard pressure.
Thermomodulator cut 50.
Thermomodulator cut 50.
Percy, now? I'll answer that, Helen. At the moment, Dr. Overton is in the next room in a glass case surrounded by solidified gas at about -40 degrees centigrade. His life processes are suspended.
Alive?
Alive.
Jump the door, jump.
Contacts scorching. Contacts scorching.
Bourbon Street, a street like no other in the world. A street that lives in the light and in the shadows.
Anything can happen, and does, on Bourbon Street. Like strip time, sex crime, murder, even a Latin American revolution.
Yes, Senor Presidente, the shadow.
Then you have come to help us.
You're in danger. You must leave here immediately.
Put down that horn and step back.
Evil abounds everywhere, with only the shadow to challenge the powers of darkness. Ghosts of the dead, ghosts of the living dead, walk these streets with silent tread.
Who's there? What do you want?
His life menaced. Their love jeopardized by terror. They know that a madman, anxious to kill, is loose. Not since the screen was cracked by the shock of high-tension psychological drama has such nerve-shattering entertainment been presented for the enjoyment of the terrified. The fiend who revels in fear has a man's lusts, a ghost's tantalizing mobility, and the devil's very own enjoyment in torture.
Don't let me drown! Let me out!
No.
Hands whose music thrilled the world. Are they now the hands that love to kill? Are they hands that control the man who owns them? Are they Orlak's hands, or are they those of another human being grafted on? The hands of a killer.
Just look at these hands. They're not mine. They belong to someone else. They have their own thoughts, their own will. I can't control them.
Darling, I'm not frightened of you.
You may ask, is it possible for such things to happen? We can only answer, fact is stranger than fiction. Here is a motion picture filled with startling mystery. The story of a haunting question that drives a man to the brink of insanity. Starring Mel Ferrer as Orlak, victim of a terrible accident.
You think I killed that cat, don't you? Go on, say it!
Monsieur, please!
What are you afraid of? You think I'm going to kill you?
Co-starring Christopher Lee as Nero the Magician, who discovers the secrets of Orlak's hands and hounds him to the edge of madness.
Did you know that your charming little wife and her wise old guardian were planning to have you certified? They want to put you away.
Danny Carell as Lai Lang, who uses her charms to trap Orlak and her beauty to betray him.
Tell me something.
Yes.
What is it you're afraid of?
Lucio Saint-Simon as the wife of Orlak, who loves the man, but fears the hands that would embrace her.
Forgive me, Louise. You're not safe with me.
Uncle Francis, I've been trying to get you. Uncle Francis, he must be stopped. He's out of his mind.
This one has plenty of fight in him.
Never Never before has man been transformed into such hideous proportions. Never have teenage girls been subjected to the terrifying ordeal in the fantastic room of torture. Prisoners on this island of the mad must fight desperately to preserve a sane and conscious mind. This strange and powerful story has been acclaimed as the most terrifying of all time, as it bursts forth the unequaled horror of an island of monsters created by a human beast.